Hello and welcome again to Oscar Mike Radio. My name is Travis, the host. Oscar Mike Radio is part of the Hubazoo network. You can find out more on hubazoo.com. And I want to thank my sponsors and supporters. And let's have a great time as I'm talking to Army veteran Jason Ray about his story and work with Rucking for Veterans. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. You know, I always like these kinds of shows and talks when another veteran says, hey, this other veteran's doing some really great stuff. You got to talk to them. And then I start, looking, I'm like, oh, wow, they're doing some really cool stuff. Before we get into all that, you served the Army. I just was kind of curious if you'd tell us, your background a little bit.
I joined the Army right out of high school, 1998, went to Fort Benning, did infantry school, ended up shipping out to Schofield Barracks, Hawaii in 98. It was actually, I think it was, by the time I got there, it was just after New Year's. I think I left on January 2nd of 99. And I was stationed there until 2000, where I ran into some issues. I was only there for a year and a few months. Issues with leadership and stuff like that. But I ended up getting an honorable discharge early in 2000. And yeah, I mean, I love the Army, but I think my surroundings weren't inclusive.
That happens. Some of us just run into a bad set of staff NCOs, and officers, and it doesn't go well. Talking to several people like yourself.
I started running with the wrong crowd too. Always getting in trouble, and I think it kind of run me down a little bit. So
the first sergeant really loved you, right?
He knew me by name.
Oh, the worst.
I think the sergeant major knew me by name too, so that wasn't good.
Double whammy, man.
But yeah, it was I did enjoy my time in. Never saw combat, so
I didn't either.
I don't call myself a combat vet, but just come back home, after 9/11, support as much as I could. Anybody, going overseas. Had some really close family friends go over. Had some friends not come back. And I want to say it was 2014. It was 7 years ago.
Okay.
February 2014. My neighbor, great friend of mine, Marine Corps vet from Desert Storm, really great guy, corporal, and I knew he was having problems. Every once in a while, he'd go out on a bender, and I'd find him on his steps in the back door, just passed out, and he had his problems, and I understood that, but I didn't understand the extent, and so February 2014, I went to go check on him. I knew he was dating a new girl. She wasn't really right for him, but I kind of let him lead his own life, and I knocked on the door, walked in the kitchen. He was dead on the floor, with a needle in his arm. And he used drugs in the past, no, not heroin, but he had used drugs in the past for his outlet, and I knew that, and it hit me hard.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what was that like?
It hit me hard for a long time. Just the question of, could I have done more? What could I have done for him? Could I bend more in his face and, told him he shouldn't be doing the shit he was doing? I mean, I told him, but I didn't pound it into him. I just told him, hey, you need to stop. And he's like, he'd yap me to death, and he was the type of vet too. He was working with other veterans on PTSD. They were coming back from Afghanistan, Iraq at that time. wounded vets. He was really big into it, and it really took me by surprise that he would go down that road. So for a long time, it hit me hard. And then, yeah, I started rucking a few years ago. I did a go ruck, thought it was awesome, thought it was great, brought me back to my infantry days and had a lot of fun with it. My wife did it with me.
Really?
Yeah, we did a light. We did a go ruck light, and she was that.
It's still 11 miles.
she said it was still 11 miles.
She remembers.
Oh, she remembers every step. But we had a good time. It was a lot of work, but we had a good time, and it was a good time together. She got to see, a piece of what we go through, what we went through when we're in day to day. So, and it brought me back. It was a little nostalgia for me. So I continued to do it. And then I was on Facebook, Massville Vets, and another veteran brought up, hey, you should try this. And it was the Vest Up for the Fallen. I said, that's stupid. Where do I sign up? Yeah, I signed up for that. And as I was training for that, with the vest and the flags, and I, started researching Mission 22. And I really liked what they were doing. And, started raising awareness for them. And, I said, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be an ambassador for them. Became an ambassador. So I started rucking around with a flag, with American flag, carrying it around with me. In the time frame that it was, 2020 election coming up. Oh, 2019. I'm getting corrected. 2019.
I love it.
With the elections coming up, I started carrying the flag around, and people weren't happy.
Isn't that something, right?
It was, I was getting yelled at out of car windows. People give me dirty looks or flipping me off, and it was heartbreaking, really, because here I am, a veteran, just carrying a flag, and people weren't liking it. So I went through that for a little while, and then my wife, she would post on Facebook on the town page, hey, this is what Jason's doing, blah blah blah. So she talked me into getting a Mission 22 flag. I had a small one. It was a little window flag, and I put it right underneath the American flag, and it served its purpose. But a lot of people couldn't see it, so I ended up getting the bigger one. So I would be carrying two flags at the same time, both strapped to my vest, to the back of my vest. And then Veterans Day was coming up. It was probably about the end of middle of September, thinking about it, as I always did, and I was thinking, what can I do?
Now, was this last year or this year?
This was last year.
Okay.
Last year, I was like, what can I do? Blah, blah, blah. And I had seen that Mission 22 does all these national fundraisers. I said, hey, I can do what I like to do, and that's ruck, because rucking is really my outlet. It as much as I do it for awareness for PTSD or trying to end the 22. I use it as my outlet. It's my therapy.
Okay.
And it's my way to escape from the world, per se, even though I'm right there in it. And I said, I can take these two things and I can do something positive. So I created a Facebook fundraiser for Mission 22. And with the awesome help of my wife, who promoted it every day, multiple times a day, day in, day out. And I was just, I was vested in it as much as her, but I'm the type of person where I go out and do it. you know, I want people to see me. I'm not sitting behind a computer or on my phone really promoting it, but she did it. She did a great job. Uh, and I try to get people to come with me all the time over that past year, and I got no takers. Couple people here and there maybe would come out with me, but that was it. So on Veterans Day, I was by myself. I did the 22 miles. And we raised over $4,000 for Mission 22.
Outstanding.
Just the two of us. I will never say I did it by myself. But yeah, so we did that, and so winter came, so I slowed down a little bit. I still went out, you know, if the roads were safe. In the springtime, picked it right back up. You know, I learned about Invest Up for the Fallen, and you know, said, hey, let's do it. So I started training for that again. You know, get the same comments. You know, and it really worried my wife. So, and she once again posts on the Facebook pages, hey, Jason's going to be out there, give him a honk and a wave, and you know, this is what he's doing, this is why he's doing it. And but still I was getting negative feedback from the community, from some people in the community. And so she went right on the Facebook page and said, hey, what can I do, what can we do to, you know, bring light to what Jason's doing? And somebody mentioned create a Facebook group. You know, people can be invited to it.
Sure.
And, you know, just post on that. So we started with that. And it was Jason Ray, Rucking for Veterans. Hence the birth of Rucking for Veterans LLC.
Love it.
And yeah, so I would post live videos whenever I was rucking, and she'd take those live videos and share them to the town pages. At first I would call the police departments and say, hey, just to let you know, I'm going out. But after a while, they just said, don't worry about it. If people call, we know who you are. And I have to say that the police departments around here are really supportive of what we're doing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so eventually we were talking one night, and we said, hey, wouldn't it be great if not only could we donate to Mission 22, but what if we could raise money for more local South Coast Massachusetts organizations? Because we know they're out there.
Yeah.
They're small, but what if we could do that? And so we started researching the idea of starting our own nonprofit. And we found a company that would do all the paperwork for us. And we started the process, and really it was a long waiting game, 6 months for the IRS.
Yep.
On that, with the letter of determination of nonprofit 501c3. So we are a 501c3. The last thing I'm waiting for is my letter from the Massachusetts Attorney General's office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is all backed up because of COVID too as well. So this year we're at a cornhole tournament, a Mission 22 cornhole tournament, and I met up with another Mission 22 ambassador who lives literally 5 minutes from me. And we had no idea. We had never met each other before. We had a mutual friend, and that's how we met. We knew one person.
Isn't that, you know, really cool how when you start doing this, you start, you know, kind of expanding, but people are closer to you than you think?
Yeah. It's I mean, we'll get into the story of how you and me are somehow connected. But yeah, so we met up at this cornhole tournament at Buzzards Bay Brewing, and we started talking and had a great time, spent all day there. And then my wife Jen and I were talking about the Veterans Day. We said we had to start planning it. And I said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could get, you know, this other group involved? And so I sent a text message to the other guy, and he said, absolutely, let's meet. You know, we'll get everybody together. You pitch your idea and we'll run with it. So we met at Poor Farm in New Bedford, and everybody loved it. So we said, okay, let's go with it. So we started planning, and it's a bigger event than I could have ever imagined. Right now we have 15 participants signed up.
Oh, nice.
With a word of commitment from a bunch of others. We'll see if they actually sign up.
Right.
But yeah, so we're 15 times better than we were last year.
And the event is this Veterans Day coming up, correct?
This Veterans Day coming up, November 11th. It's a Thursday. It's the middle of the week, which makes it a little harder, I guess. But Veterans Day means something, and it means something to every veteran out there. Whether you like it, whether you like the thank yous or the attention that we get, it's our day to be together and to reflect on what we've done, help each other out through the after effects of what we've done, and really embrace each other as brothers and sisters. That's how I see Veterans Day. And out of the 15, I believe like 12 are veterans. I'm not sure about a few people. I don't, I welcome everybody, but there's a lot of veterans in there, and a lot that I've done, that I've rucked with before in the past, whether it was the 65 for Vest Up for the Fallen or Tough Ruck, few weekends ago that we did together. We're all connected somehow. So, but that's how I see Veterans Day. It's a day to say thank you, but it's also a day to remember, that we need each other.
So this is happening on Veterans Day. Where's the start? Where and when does it start?
The start is 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
At Poor Farm in New Bedford.
Okay.
Yep. So we're starting there, and we'll ruck it's 11.2 miles to Westport Rivers Winery in Westport. So we'll go through Westport, Dartmouth, New Bedford, Dartmouth, Westport. There's a halfway point there. So one of the things we said was, well, not everybody can do 22 miles, or not everybody wants to do 22 miles. We'll throw in a halfway option, 11-mile option. Start at Westport Rivers, be dropped off there, and we will go there. We'll leave Westport Rivers at 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock sharp, we'll step off, and we'll head back to Poor Farm, just a different route, back the rest of the way, the rest of the 11 miles.
So if you're not feeling adventurous for the 22, but you feel good enough shape to get the 11 in,
Yep,
and still have the camaraderie, you can do that. That's good.
exactly. Yeah, yep, exactly. And I found people, when I said, oh, I'm doing 22 miles, they go, wow, 22 miles, that's a long way. Not really, but it is, I guess, when you don't do it all the time. And I've done 2 marathons this year, and I didn't complete the 65, but I did make 58. So so 22 miles, I'm like, okay, let's go. I'll do it.
It's just a big quick jaunt down to Dunks. We'll be right back.
So, but for other people, I understand, because I started out doing 3 miles, and I was gassed, so I wear my vest. I don't wear a rucksack per se. I still wear my vest. It's a little easier on my back.
You don't like the Alice pack?
I don't have one.
I've got one. I got the one I got from the Marine Corps, and I see some of these modern packs now. I'm like, I cannot believe that's what we force marched in, humped in. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I had an Alice pack, 98, 99 now.
Right. It's like
now it's all plastic and
right. It's like
wow, I would love to have that.
Ripped off, man.
No, I still had a belt and LBE,
Yeah.
I didn't have the plate carriers that they have now.
It's something else.
Hell, when
Yeah.
I got out, I think I just been issued the LBV, the zip up front LBV that attached to your flak jacket.
Yeah.
That's what we had. So
Nice.
uh,
Army does it better, no doubt.
yeah, but you guys look prettier in your uniforms.
Well, there are trade-offs. There are trade-offs. So you're starting off at 7 with, let's just say, 20 people.
Yep.
And you're going to go to the halfway point and then come back to the Pour Farm. That's a brewery, right?
Pour Farm is a bar in downtown New Bedford.
Okay.
Are
you doing anything?
What's that?
Are you doing anything when you get back to the bar after you're done?
So the Pour Farm will be open at noontime. They are going to be fully staffed at noontime. They will have drinks. They will have food. We figured our first event, we kind of take it slow, see how it went. I have a feeling if I can make this a year thing, we'll be getting bigger and bigger as we go here. But they have an outside area where we can set up tents. Mission 22 is going to be there with some merchandise and a few ambassadors. And actually, we just pulled the trigger on our own merchandise, our own shirts. So we'll have Rucking for Veterans shirts there as well for sale. And proceeds. So some of the proceeds will go to Mission 22. They do have their hand in this and help us just for helping us out.
Yeah, sure.
And being a Mission 22 ambassador, I do want to support them. So other proceeds will be going to a organization you're familiar with, called
Wild Hearts.
Wild Hearts. I was going to say Sacred, but I was like, no, that's not right.
It's Wild Hearts Therapeutic Equestrian Program. It's a mouthful, but that's what it's called. Yeah.
And I visited up there about a week and a half ago, and what a great program. Just the work that they do with the veterans that feel like they need it. Speaking to some of those veterans, and really took me aback. For such a small program and being so close to home, I never heard about it. I was on another another Facebook page checking something out, and when we were researching, local organizations, and my wife and I had said we want to support either equine therapy or a service dog organization that was close to home, and Julie took me back. Such a great organization, such a great cause, and I think it fits us perfectly as an organization. So,
well, I remember going there to check it out a couple of years ago, and it was life changing. I don't know about you, Jason, but watching the horses interact with the veterans was surreal.
Yeah,
on so many levels, right?
Yeah, you could feel like, especially a couple that have been there for a while, have done a few rounds of the program. Those horses knew those veterans, and the horses knew what needed to be done. They probably done it a million times, but they helped guide the veteran as much as the veteran was guiding them through the training and everything. So it was great to see. It was wonderful. And meeting some of the volunteers there, had a nice conversation with a recently DD 214 Navy vet. We got to talk for a little while. So very, very, very surreal that, somebody fresh out of the military like that is willing to continue their service and help others that came before her and overcome their troubles. So it was, it's life changing. It's almost like you can't speak about it because you have to go see it.
It really makes an impact when you do go see it, and then to, like you said, talk to the veterans and talk with Julie. To me, it was life changing, and so I'm really honored and humbled that you want to support this great program and what we're trying to do down there. Just fantastic, man. So, about how we met, it's really kind of cool. Like I said, I'm sitting there one night, and a woman who does tough ruck, Marine veteran, Alayna Madden. It's like, you got to talk to Jason about rucking for veterans. And kind of the same thing. I didn't know you were doing this, but as I got into it, I'm like, oh, wow, he's doing this for the right reason and is trying to build something here. It's just been great getting to know you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Elena's awesome. I did the 65 with her for a while, and until it took us both. And we just did tough ruck together over in Miles Standish Park, and she had messaged me, and my 3 kids and marching band and sports and dance and stuff like that. Like, life gets a little crazy, and she had mentioned, hey, you need to talk to my friend Travis. You really need to talk to him. You really, I'd like to introduce you guys. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I'm busy right now. I'm busy right now. I feel so bad, and I do have to call her and apologize for that. But
we're talking now, and it's good. And yeah, man, if you'll have me down, I'd like to come down on Veterans Day. I make a point to take it off work. There's so many other holidays that take priority, but I want to make sure that one's it. And come down there and stream and film and check it out if you don't mind.
Yeah, not at all. We're humbled by the support from you, Travis, and a few other organizations that are going to be doing the same thing. So please do come out, hang out, have a good time, ask all the questions you want.
Now,
and
how can people find out more about what you all do?
Okay, so we do have a website.
Okay.
It's starting off, but we do have one. It's ruckingforveterans.com. All one word.
Okay. I'll have it sliding below us in the video. Okay. Ruckingforveterans.com. All right.
Ruckingforveterans.com. We're on Facebook. We're on
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
And I also have my group page. It's still Jason Ray. Rucking for Veterans is the group. So yeah. And message me on Facebook. Email me, ruckingforveterans@gmail.com. I think my phone number's in there still. Somewhere on one of the Facebook pages, because the other thing is, I want veterans to reach out to me too. My ultimate goal is to be, a resource where I can help other veterans, and and be able to support them or point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
If needed. So
just as we wind down here, Jason, I would be remiss if I didn't say that how encouraging it is to hear how your wife supports and joins you in what you're doing. A lot of wives do, some wives don't, and when the wives don't, you can tell a difference than when the wives do. And it came through clear tonight. And I haven't met your wife yet, but I mean, just much respect there, because that truly means she's seeing what you're trying to do and making it change people's lives. I got to call attention to that, because a lot of times the spouses, they're not looking for the spotlight, but by the same token, you wouldn't be where you are without her. So I really picked up on that.
She's my rock.
Yeah.
She, when I'm having my own issues, because we all deal with it, she's my rock. She's my go-to person.
Amazing.
And I love her for it, and not just for that, but she's just absolutely, she has a heart of gold, and she would help out anybody. And it shows when we're doing these types of events, how much effort she does put into it, and she puts up 110%, because she knows the end result is going to help somebody. So yeah, she's amazing.
Outstanding. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis with Oscar Mike Radio. I'm talking to Jason Ray, Army veteran and leader of Rucking for Veterans. There's going to be an event November 11th in New Bedford at, oh my God,
Poor farm.
Poor Farm. See, even I mess up from time to time, but at Poor Farm, I'll have all this in the show post, and there's still time to get in touch with what Jason and his team are doing, and meet his lovely wife and family, and come out and support this on Veterans Day. I will be there in New Bedford on that day, checking this out. Although I will not be humping. Maybe next year, Jason. I'll shoot for that as a stretch goal. It'd be pretty cool. But
Hey,
definitely
you gotta have your goals.
exactly. Well, I did a mile this morning. I felt pretty, but I got a ways to go. But I just like talking to people like yourself who something like just putting a pack or a vest on and raising awareness and then trying to take that awareness into action. I just think it's something that we need right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with our brothers and sisters coming home and separating, after 20 years of conflict. They need to know that there's support out there. And
Absolutely.
for our local South Coast Massachusetts veterans, the help is here. We're here for you. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so
Well, again, I am Travis, and I have my guest here, Jason Ray, Army veteran, Rucking for Veterans. I'll have the link to the website in the show post. There's still time to participate or support or come out and buy the group around when they get back. It's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, brother, and supporting what you do. And just want to thank you for your time with me tonight.
thank you, Travis, for taking your time and reaching out to me and let me speak about this.
No problem at all. We'll speak again. As we say in Hawk, as we say in Oscar Mike Radio, we are mission in flight. Thank you again.